I'm Georgina Lewis, your favorite librarian in training, and I'm here to bring you our first installment of our monthly book talks. Here. So today I have a very special treat for you here today. We have here today our writer in residence, USA Today's best-selling author, Olivia Gaines.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, and she's going to spill the tea on her book, Oregon Trails. Well, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to chatting with you about this book.
Yes, this very funny, very sweet book. It's Oregon Trails that I had an opportunity to read. And I just fell in love with Kalinda and Paul and the great outdoors. I live in the country, but I could just smell the scents and feel like I was there. See all the people who's missing their teeth. It was great, you know?
There's always this supporting cast of characters in my book because I've been fortunate to spend time with and get to know an eclectic group of people. And people are always asking, are these characters based on your family members? No. Most of my family have all their teeth.
Oh man. Well, while we're talking about we're already talking about it. So what was your inspiration for this particular installment? Because I know this is a series, right?
It's a series. We are going to do all 50 states.
Oh, wow.
Yes. We're working our way. We're in the Northeast right about now because we just finished with maple sundaes and cider donuts. So I've gone from West Coast to the South to the East Coast. So we're up in the East Coast now. And initially it was a running joke between me and some of my writing buddies. And I said, well, I'm going to do a Mail Order Bride series, and it's going to be these successful Black women who just want a change in life, and they're going to marry these guys that live off the grid and go hunt and skin meat for dinner. And I wrote the first one, which was North to Alaska. And there's this little shop in Alaska that's actually called North to Alaska. And across the street from it, I kid you not, is Olivia's Bistro. Yeah. So every time we go back to Alaska, I always go there. But we've been to Alaska, to Montana, to Wyoming, and Oregon is number 4 in the series. Because after Oregon, we went south to Georgia for a rainy night in Georgia. We went to Kentucky for bluegrass and bourbon. We went to Ohio for Buckeye and the Babe, and Buckeye was my uncle's CB name, and it's set in the town where my uncle actually lived in Elyria.
Oh,
yeah. Oh. And so whenever a book releases, I'm usually somewhere in the same area of the book, and I was in Portland for this one, yeah. So I'm usually on the ground. And I know you were reading Junior.
Yes.
And last November, I was actually in Columbia on the ground, walking through the bushes and stuff. And like, why am I here? But I like to bring that authenticity to the stories. So in Oregon Trails, he is the postmaster at Imnaha. And the goats are actually in the middle of the street when you drive through there.
I was reading about that, and I was just like, this kind of reminds me of the country and cows going across the way, or somebody having, y'all know, a big tractor going down the road and blocking you, and you can't go around them, you know. And I was just like, these goats eating off this poor man's shirt as he tries to cross the road, and I was just like, I wonder if these goats are really there.
Those goats are really there. Those goats are really there, and they do have an annual rattlesnake roundup to where they do the cooking and all of the rattlesnake meat. Yes.
Would you ever try any of that?
I have eaten some odd things, but I don't know. I just no. What's for dinner? Well, we got a little bit of rattlesnake. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Okay, this. So, How many books do you have right now in this particular series, the Mail Order Bride series?
We are up to number 11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there's going to be all 50.
That's amazing. So, would you yourself do a Mail Order Bride service?
I am unfortunately a full-fledged Scorpio, so I got trust issues. I don't think I could do it, but the romantic idea of it. This person wants to be married. You want to be married. There's your common building ground right there. There's no question what his intentions are. You know why you're there. We're going to make a family. We're going to make a life together. This is what I have. I got this cabin. I don't know why the bathroom smells like that. We're going to figure it out.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to hunt some meat and we're going to have meat and you're going to grow some vegetables and we're going to make this work. Mm-hmm. And it's always interesting to see the women make that adjustment from big city life to living somewhere small. And even the simple things with him, he had celiac disease where he couldn't eat, gluten and a lot of other things that his entire backstory is based on his inability to enjoy a meal with his family. And it created all this tension in the family. And he just eventually stopped eating dinner with them because he had all of these issues with eating. And she comes in, well, I'm going to cook your chicken and some rice flour. And I'm going to get this gluten-free pasta. And okay, that didn't turn out right. Let's throw that out.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember reading that.
And she figures out a way to make him dinner, and he's like, can I eat that? And she's like, you can eat everything on this table. I can eat all of that? And she's like, yeah. And it's those simple moments between a man and a woman that really kind of defines the relationship. You went out of your way to do this for me so that I could sit down and enjoy a meal. And even when his brother came for a visit and when his parents came for a visit, there's food on the table. Well, he can't eat that. He can eat that. He can eat that. He can eat that. And he's just happy like, yeah. I eat.
It was great. One of my favorite Paul moments is actually when he was like feeling a wee bit peckish in the middle of the night. He goes and eats the cookies. And he says the reason why he goes to eat the cookies is because, one, he wanted the cookies, and two, he wanted her to make another dessert the next night.
Yes.
And it was just like, you could just see how much like joy he just kind of went from like, I eat for sustenance to, I'm looking forward to whatever she prepares. And I like how the emotional support he gave. He was just ready to very much accept her for whoever she was, But I won't ruin that for y'all so y'all can read it for yourselves. And on the topic of where they're going to read this, so where can we find this amazing book?
Actually, you can find this amazing book in Pines. It is on the shelf. There is a copy downstairs. I didn't autograph it though, because I don't want people to decide they don't want to bring it back.
Can I just pay the fine?
Can I just pay the fine? I'm going to keep this book. I have had that happen at some libraries. Yeah, I'm just going to keep this book. So
that's great. So that means that you can put this book on hold and you can either curbside or come inside. If you place this book on hold with your library card in Pines, you can, again, pull up your car and we'll put it right in your car. Or you can come inside and pick up your hold if you would like. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. I appreciate it. And that's all that we have time for today. Take care and see you next month. Bye.